Hi, everybody. This is our presentation at San Marcos to the Discovery Lake by Ricky.
Ricky, James, Alex, and Zoe. So these are the tasks that we've all done at hand. Here's the group photos that we took at the lake. Some information about the lake. It's relatively close to the campus, about a mile. Uh, it's relatively quiet as well, surrounded by a residential area, and it's really good for running, hiking, fishing, biking. Here are some maps that we have of the trails at the lake, and the red spots are the locations that we stopped at. Some limitations, there is no swimming in the lake. Fishing, you have to have a license to keep the fish. If not, you have to put them back. There's no remote controls at all in the lake. Reservations have to take place for social events, and pets need to be on a leash. Some geography and climate. It has sandy soil and loam soil. It's a lake ecosystem housing eukaryotes and prokaryotes like bacteria, fish, water, or birds, crabs, turtles, algae, stuff like that. And it has poison ivy, so be careful. And due to invasive species, resources are limited, and it is relatively warm with 12 inches of rain per year. The recent wildfire was named Cocoa Fire, taking out 2,000 acres in 2014. And some history, it was found the lake in 1797 by Spaniards, and the most recent map was made in 1947.
And here's our trail entrance of where we started the hike. Our 7 stops and key points of interest. We keep in mind we saw the lake and our different spots of the trail. Here we have the animal species. We have the western honeybee, American coot, western fence lizard, and mallard duck. On plant species, we have the redbush monkeyflower, pampas grass, heteromels, arbutifolia, and Pacific poison oak.
According to our significance of animals, we start with the western honeybee. There's a lot of colonies of bee populations in general, but throughout time they have decreased tremendously due to them being an endangered species, and they basically make their hive out of honey and beeswax. They also repopulate by finding the right mate for each other. They basically they ba- they basically get picked off one by one by other pests out there too. As for the American coot, they have little ridges on the back of their feet so they can control which direction they move in, and they also like to live where those muddy pools and muddy water. They also like to go dive underneath the water and eat some fish and eat some insects as well. And they like to build large nests with about like 12 eggs in there per nest. The western fence lizard is a very reptilish species. They have cold blood, and the females have red on the back of their necks. The males have blue on the back of their necks. And there's a lot of them too, so they're not going to get killed off anytime soon. The mallard ducks, they come in different patterns and colors. Some of them have like purple and green in them. Some of them have like curled tails, which are the male ducks, and then versus the female ducks, which have the flat tails. And they have webbed feet, so they can always swim in the water and dive underneath the water to get some fish too. And these are all invasive species, just to clarify that. And they as for the ducks, there's so many of them, so they're not gonna die off anytime soon.
Some plants that we found on our trail that have an ecological significance. The red brush monkeyflower is an interesting plant that is utilized by various birds and insects as a food source, which typically includes hummingbirds, bees, and flies. Pampas grass is an invasive species that grows on roadsides, steep cliffs, riverbanks, and open areas where is typically disturbed by natural or human activity. Tona is a plant that produces a interesting fruit that many different species of wildlife particularly use as a food source.
Here's our pictures of animals: the western fence lizard, American coot, western honeybee, and mallard ducks.
there is all the plants, the Pacific poison oak, pampas grass, red brush monkey flower, and tona.
So here we have the life cycle of the mallard duck. Average lifespan is about 5 to 10 years. They dominate the northern hemisphere. Could be found almost anywhere basically. A hen usually lays around 9 to 13 eggs. The time to hatch between all those eggs is 26 to 28 days. And once winter comes, mallard ducks migrate to northern and warmer areas to eat until breeding season. And some stay if the climate is mild enough, such as like California. And another cool thing is that their eggs are slightly greenish. Here we have the life cycle of the mallard duck. Male and female, they mate. Then the female nests the egg. Eggs hatch after a certain point. They turn to ducklings, and then they grow up into being an adult duck. Here we have the life cycle of the red bush monkey flower. The most flowering point is between March and June. They live mostly in Southern California's coast. They're pollinated by insects or hummingbirds and stuff like that. Seeds of the red bush monkey flower are shaped like a monkey face, and the red bush monkey flower is mostly drought tolerant. They gain this through waxy leaves and cutting down their water loss with those leaves and reflecting the heat during droughts. Here we have the life cycle of the red bush monkey flower. Get pollination from bees and other birds like hummingbirds. The seeds mature, they leave the flower, and then they get into the soil. They grow into a flowering plant, and the cycle repeats.
Here are the sources for our plants.
And this concludes the end of our presentation.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
6:40.
The only thing is
Yeah,
that
that's actually good. We did it, guys.
That's
Thanks.
good.
the
Okay,
only thing
thank you
is
so
we
much.
did miss one
Guys.
piece is my
That's
the
whatever.
poison oak.
You know
Oh,
what? We'll take
It's
it.
okay. We got
take
as close as we can, and we did the
Uh,
best we can. Good job, guys. Let
Yeah,
me
we-
just.
And we're
let
about to
me
get kicked
convert
out.
this. Whoa. Yeah, I know, right?
The only thing is you'll just have to plan one of them from.
Yeah, we're gonna have to edit that a little bit.
Just add in one of them.
I think we got James screaming in the background too at the end. Oh, good.
Hopefully it works.
That was.
Yep.
ugly.
Oh. Yeah. I'm. Yeah, I'm gonna have to